best seed ever. Endless structures, beautiful biomes, insane loot. This seed has it all. And as always, all you have to do is create a world with this seed that you see here on screen, and let's get started. You're gonna spawn right over here. It's a very beautiful location. I mean, you got like some cherry forests over here, some mountains, and some interesting stuff over here. It's a village literally less than 50 blocks away from spawn, and this is where everything starts. And it's not any village. It doesn't have one, it doesn't have two, it doesn't have three, it doesn't have four, but it has 5 different blacksmiths. We're gonna start with this one over here. Really good first chest. You're gonna be getting some iron chestplate to get protected, and some food. That's pretty good, that's pretty good. Let's go to the second one. Another really good chest. You get a lot of iron. I mean, we already got 16, some more food, and an iron sword. Right next to it is the third one, and it keeps getting better and better. 3 more iron and a lot of iron armor. You already have 3 iron chest plates. I don't know if it is actually useful in any situation, but it doesn't matter. And let's go to the blacksmith over here. Again, it's pretty good. He's got 1 more iron sword. Okay, seriously, what is this? But it does have an iron horse armor. And the 5th one over here on the bottom of the village, and obviously we left the best for last. Look at this chest. I mean, it's insane. This is not even funny anymore. But more importantly, you get 11 obsidian, enough already to make another portal, and we're gonna be doing it later. So now we're done with the blacksmith. Let's look at what's underneath the village. Start by going to these coordinates over here. As you can see, I'm literally like next to the bottom area of the village, and this is the first of the many times where I'm gonna be asking you to dig straight down. Don't worry, it's not dangerous. You're gonna end up in a spider spawner. It's really good. You can use it for XP, and it's got 2 chests that we're gonna be looking at. So the first one, gunpowder, some string, some coal, and more importantly, a golden apple. And now for the second chest, it's even better. An iron horse armor, a bunch of like monster loot, some beetroot seeds, which are interesting, a bucket, a really good book. I mean, feather falling 4, sharpness 3, and riptide 2. Oh, no, riptide. And once that's done, go to these coordinates over here, and again, we're really close to the village. We're gonna be digging straight down, and I don't know what to tell you. It's another mob spawner. This time, it's a zombie spawner, even better for XP, and it's got a really decent chest. I mean, this is just calling for horses. We have 3 horse armors, and we already got a saddle. And now let's address the elephant in the room. I mean, this chest is floating. This monster spawner is also floating because we're literally next to a mine shaft. And it's huge. Obviously, it's connected to a cave. It's got a bunch of dripstone. But back to here, the room with the spawner, I want you to go over to this direction over here. Go down, and you're gonna end up on this location, which has a chest on top of a minecart, and it's really good. Pumpkin and melon seeds, some activator rails, and a name tag, which is really good. But it doesn't stop here. This mineshaft is like really huge, but I mean, I'm gonna leave it for you to explore because I'm kind of scared. Let's keep going. Go to these coordinates over here, and again, you're gonna be digging straight down. This time it's gonna be a little different. It's a ruined portal underground. It's got a gold block over here and a chest that is pretty good. It's got 2 flint and steel. You're gonna need it for later. Some golden tools, but yeah, don't pick them up. And now we're gonna take a small break from the structures. We're gonna become miners. And who doesn't like being a miner? Anyways, go to these coordinates over here, and again, we're gonna be digging straight down. So yeah, dig straight down, and this is the first time I've ever done this in a video, but we're gonna be ending up on top of some diamonds. You keep leaving a lot of comments about diamonds and where to find them, where I got you. And this is a first for me. I mean, this is probably the biggest vein of diamonds that I've ever seen, especially after the new updates. Let's count how many diamonds we got over here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 diamonds. No, I'm sorry. 13, 14 diamonds in a single vein. But not only that, on top of the 14, you got 2 over here, 15 and 16. And over to this side, you're going to be finding some more. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 diamonds in a single mining trip. And if you use Fortune 3, you're going to be getting a ton of diamonds from these ores. So this village is insane. It's got 5 different blacksmiths, 2 spawners underneath, a ruined portal, and a bunch of diamonds. But it's time to move on. You probably saw it and you were wondering, why didn't I look at it? It's the Pillager outpost over here. It's on top of a mountain. It looks super good. I mean, it's got like this weird thing over here. I mean, I've never seen this before. If you go on top here, you're going to be finding a chest that is interesting. It's got a book with sharpness 1. I mean, this is just trash. But it's got the goat horn. The chest is not really interesting, but the structure is. You can use this Pillager outpost to build the best farm in the game without a doubt. the raid farm. There will be a link to a really good one in the description below. Something really cool about this Pillager outpost is the mountain that is standing on. It's got a bunch of powder snow that you're going to be needing in a bunch of farms. And talking about biomes, there is a jungle over here that has some bamboo, and over to this side, there is a savanna where you can find some armadillos. They might seem useless, but they're really important for XP farms. Again, a link to a really good one is going to be in the description below. Now let's keep going. Go to these coordinates over here. As you can see, we're still not that far away from the first village. And again, dig straight down. This time, be a little more careful. You're going to be ending up in a trials chamber. Yes, right next to spawn. It's massive. It's got a bunch of vaults, a bunch of spawners, and it's really, really good. And now you can push a sigh of relief. We're finally gonna leave this area. Right next to the village, I want you to look over to this side over here. As you can see, it's like another hill or another mountain. It's got another cherry grove forest, but more importantly, after it, there is a second village, but it doesn't have any blacksmiths. However, it's still a really good village. I mean, obviously, it's got like a bunch of villagers that you can exploit, but if you look over to this side, not that far away, there is an ice biome, so like a lot of ice blocks which you can mine, which are really useful, especially in creeper farms. Again, a link to a really good one is going to be in the description below. But it doesn't stop here. If you keep going into this direction, I mean, we're not going to go that far. Don't worry. There is another village over there and a pillager outpost, a completely different one over on that side. So it's pretty cool. And once you're done with the second village, we can keep going. So I want you to go back kind of to the first village, like the same direction. And halfway there, look to the right to this mountain over here. Go to these coordinates over here, and I'm not even going to say it. You don't need to dig straight down. It's really close to the surface. I mean, it's just a couple blocks. It's another spawner. And we got all of them because it's a skeleton spawner. It's also got a really good chest. I mean, some iron is always welcome, and another name tag. And standing on top on where you found that spawner, if you look over to this side, there is third village. This right here is the third village, and let me tell you, it has nothing. It literally has nothing. It's got some houses, some villagers, nothing underneath. I mean, there is like nice biome next to it, but it's not interesting. So we're just gonna skip through it. I want you to cross this river, keep going over to this direction over here. You probably can already see there's like a bunch of lines. It's the fourth village of today, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you something. This village is insane. First of all, it's got two different blacksmiths. We're gonna start looking at them. The first chest has 6 more obsidian, which is pretty good, and another, oh my god, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 iron chest plates. I don't know what's going on, and I don't know what's going on. And the second chest over here, it might be the best one so far. I mean, we got 3 more diamonds on top of everything that you just mined, a diamond horse armor, some more obsidian, and some gold. Whoa. So it's got 2 blacksmiths. I mean, it's a pretty good village. It doesn't stop here. We're just getting started. Go to these exact coordinates. And again, we're not going to be doing a lot of digging. If you dig just like a couple blocks, you're going to be finding a chest. It's not any chest. It's a treasure chest. And it's really good. I mean, 2 more diamonds, a heart of the sea, a lot more iron. So now you already have 33 iron ingots and some chainmail armor, which is good. I mean, we're changing it up a bit. After that, go not even like 20 blocks away from it and go to these exact coordinates. You're probably wondering, it's gonna be like another treasure chest. It's kind of cute. Dig straight down. It's not a treasure chest. It's another trial chambers. Completely different from the first one. A lot more vaults and a lot more spawners. Dude, this chest has honeycomb like from Squid Game. Go to these coordinates over here. We're literally not that far away from the village, and you're gonna be digging straight down. But this time, I'm not even kidding, be careful, because you're gonna end up in none other than the ancient city itself. Probably the best structure in the game, and is just massive. It's got a geode in it, which is kind of interesting, but we don't care about it. There is over 20 chests inside this ancient city. I'm obviously not gonna go through them all, but I'm gonna be showing you the best that I've found. Starting at these coordinates over here, you're going to be finding like this weird blue room. And for the first time ever, I found it. Yes, if you open up this chest, it doesn't have a lot, but it does have the silence armor trim. But let's keep going. Go to these coordinates over here. It's the second room on this ancient city. And it's got 2 chests. We're going to start with the left one. It's just insane. First of all, it's got 2 enchanted book. I mean, power 1 kind of sucks. Knockback 1 also sucks, but it does have an enchanted golden apple. But the chest on the right is something else. I've left the best for last, and just look at this. It's got a bunch of skulk, a bunch of books, a book with swift sneak, which is actually really bad, but it has 2 enchanted golden apples and a saddle. And this is it for the ancient city. And when we're also done with this insane village, we're gonna start looking on the outside, and it's kind of obvious what it is. If you go a couple blocks into the ocean, you're gonna be finding an ocean monument. There is not much that can be said about this structure. I mean, it's really good. It's got another guardian, a lot of sponges, some armor trims, but the best thing about it is that you can make a guardian farm, and they are insane for XP. And again, a link to a really good one is gonna be below. Now, staying in the water, if you look over on this side, this structure is never stopped, and just look at this one. I mean, it's intact. It's on top of land. I mean, not really intact, but whatever. So it's got a chest over here that is actually pretty good, if I remember correctly, and it is. A lot more iron. We have 3 emeralds, that's a first, and some lapis lazuli as well. And there is a second chest here below, so if you just open this door right here, if you open it, it's not that interesting. It's got feathers and a book, and you might say this treasure map is interesting, but we already got the treasure, so you don't really need it. And it doesn't stop here. Right next to the shipwreck, there is a ruined portal. So we've seen a lot. I mean, 4 villages, 7 blacksmiths in total, I think. A shipwreck, 2 trial chambers, an ocean monument, an ancient city. What more can you ask for? Well, the Nether. I want you to go to the ruined portal that we just found and just rebuild the portal with all of the obsidian that you got and light it with all of the flint and steel that you got. I mean, it's not really an issue. And by the way, please don't ask why my portal is so freaking long. Once you made it there, you should end up in this like weird cave area. You just have to dig up and you're going to be finding yourself on top of this platform in a crimson forest, and it looks pretty good. And now, as you can see, there are 2 ways we can go. We're gonna start with this one over here. So I just want you to go into this direction. It's a straight flight to there, and as you can see, it's a Nether fortress. And before you start harassing me in the comment, yes, there is a blaze spawner. Just go to these coordinates over here, and it doesn't stop here. Go to these coordinates. Again, we're staying in the fortress, and I want you to follow this path. So just go straight over here. There is a chest. I think it's pretty good. It's got some more iron, 2 saddles, which is kind of insane, but we gotta go back. Go down these stairs, keep going, turn right, go down another flight of stairs, and as you can see, this Nether fortress has some Nether warts. And I'm not even kidding, this is probably like the most recurrent comment on all of these videos. Well, here we go. So this fortress has everything. Now we're gonna go back to spawn, and we're gonna be taking the second road, which is kind of tricky. I mean, you just have to follow where I'm going. And as you can see, we already made it. It's a bastion. And it's massive. It's got a bunch of chests. It's even got nether wart. I didn't even know they could spawn in bastions, but it's kind of cool. But the best thing about it is obviously in this room right here. So I want you to go to these coordinates over here. You're going to be finding 2 chests. This small one is kind of bad. I mean, it only has obsidian, but you don't really need it anymore. But the second one, this one right here, is insane. No bastion is complete without this kind of chest. It's got the netherite upgrade smithing template. 4 more iron ingots and a netherite scrap, which is really good. And now go back to the first nether portal, and we're gonna go to the overworld again. And believe it or not, with everything that we already saw, we still have a lot of stuff to cover. For instance, staying on top of the shipwreck next to the ruined portal, if you look over on this side, there is a mountain. It's a 5th village. And before we say anything about it, I want you to look into the ocean on this side. So it's not that far away from the 5th village that you found. It's none other than the mushroom island biome thingy. It's a solid biome. You can use it to build your base because no hostile mobs can spawn on it. And now back to the village, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it doesn't have that much on the surface. But just like clothes, the best thing about this village is what's underneath.
Whoa, hey.
If you go to these coordinates over here, so as you can see, I'm next to the bottom houses, and I want you to dig straight down again. No good seed is complete without it. It's none other than the Stronghold. You're gonna end up in this room. If you go over here, you're gonna be finding the end room with 3 eyes of ender already placed in the portal, which is really good. And right next to it is the first library we're going to be taking a look at. It's got a bunch of bookshelves for books. It's really good. And it's also got some chests. So here's the first one. It's got the eye armor trim, which is really good. A really good book, flame sharpness 3, efficiency 4, and knockback 2. And it also has an unknown map. Okay, so it's just the village. I'm not gonna lie to you, I have no idea what this map is like pointing to or what's trying to portray. If you have any idea, please leave it in the comments. But anyways, if you go to the second floor, you're gonna be finding the second chest. So just break this block on top and open it. It doesn't have much, but it does have another eye armor trim, which is pretty good. And it doesn't stop here. Just leave the library and go to this side over here. You're gonna be finding a chest, which is okay. This is actually a really bad chest. But anyways, keep following this path. So just go over here, go down here. There is a bit bit of skulls, so be a little careful. As you can see here, I just dug some blocks into the wall, but just keep going. Go down here. There's a bit more skull. And it's a second library at the end of the tunnel with 2 more chests. So this one right here only has an iron armor trim. It's pretty good. And the second one, break this block and open it, is got a book, projectile protection for Frostwalker 2. Okay, this is not a good book at all, but it's got an iron armor trim, which is nice. And ladies and gentlemen, this is it for the Nether and the overworld. Now we're gonna go to the end. So go back to the end portal room, and once you're ready, I want you to fill it up with some Eyes of Ender, and we're gonna jump inside. I'm obviously need you to take care of the dragon.
Oh, we're so sorry to hear about your brother that passed away. He gets 5 big booms. Boom!
And once you do, one of these end portals are gonna spawn, and these are gonna be transporting you to the end islands. So just use an ender pearl or just swim into it. And once you're there, I want you to go to these coordinates over here. There is a bit of traveling to do, so I recommend you have a lot of ender pearls and a lot of bridging blocks. It's none other than the end city, so it's got a bunch of chests inside, but what's even better is this ship over here. You probably know what's inside, so if you go down here, you're gonna be finding, ladies and gentlemen, the Elytra. And on top of that, this chest is just crazy. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 diamonds in one chest. So now with the Elytra on your back, traveling back is gonna be really simple. And this right here brings us to the end. And now, ladies and gentlemen, just like always, let's summarize everything that we found in this seed. So you spawn in a beautiful location next to a jungle, to a savanna, and a cherry grove biome. The first village with 5 different blacksmith and a ruined portal, zombie spawner, spider spawner, and a lot of diamonds underneath. Next to it, there is a pillager outpost and a trial chambers. Next, we took a look at 2 different villages and a skeleton spawner to make our way to the 4th village that has 2 different blacksmiths, a treasure chest, another trials chambers, and an ancient city below. And next to it in the water, we found an ocean monument, a shipwreck, and a ruined portal that we used to go to the Nether, where we found a really good Nether fortress with a blaze spawner and some Nether warts, and also a bastion that has the netherite upgrade smithing template. We then headed back to the overworld to go to the final village. Next to it, there was a really good mushroom biome, and underneath the village, there was the stronghold with a really good end room and 2 different libraries. And of course, we made our way to the end, where we went to the end city and we got an Elytra. Yeah, that's a good seed. Bye-bye!